Hello everyone, this is Manzoa from ManiFx.net, and today I'm bringing you an update on the regression channel due to some changes that I made and some discoveries that I made according to how the market behaves. So just for a quick thing is that I have reduced the period of the regression channel. As you can see, or explained before, the regression channels are these two boundaries. Okay, so before I was using a regression channel which actually looked like this. Okay, something looked like this. Okay, so I can see that the discrepancy of the current regression channel, it is just that I wanted more preciseness when it comes to how the market behaves and how you get the signals according to how the market behaves. So with this new update that I am showing right now, I came to realize that the way the market behaves, according to how I programmed this mathematically, the very first thing is that the market, just like any regression channel that I was using the setting before, the market just moves between the two boundaries. Okay, so the upper boundary and the lower boundary. So, but with this updates that I have made, I've come to realize that the way the market works is that it creates first 3 points, and then from there you can discover the direction of the fourth point that it goes. When I'm saying the points, let me just use this one. Okay, so this is the first direction. So we create a point 1 here, and then okay, so the second part is that so this is the point 1 or point A, okay? And then the second point or point B is going to be here, and then so we have reached the upper boundary, or the market, in other words, we can say that it is overbought, so the market automatically falls. And then when it falls, it reaches here, and whereby we have the third point or point C. So the market fell down here, so it means that if we have 2 points touching at the lower boundary, it means that the fourth point is definitely going to touch the upper boundary. So point A, point B, point C, it means point D is going to be at the top. And as you can see that the future line, this red line, which actually tells us how the market is going to behave, it has already shown us that the market is going to go up a bit, and then it's going to fall a bit for retracement, and then it's going to touch here. So this could be our TP if we decide to put a TP, and then the market will definitely go back here again. And then from here, the market is going to go up. So at the end of the day is that if this is point A and then point B, point C, so it means that point A and point C have touched the lower boundary. It means the point D is going to touch at the upper boundary. The same thing is that if we have 2 points touching at the upper boundary, if let's say this could be the point A, and then point B could touch the lower boundary, and then point C could touch the upper boundary, it means that the third one automatically is going to go down. Okay, so let me go to a second pair, which is the GBP and ZD. Okay, this is another point. So as you can see that we have point A touching below here. We have an upward arrow, and then we have point B touching on top here, and then we have point C touching at the bottom here. So point D automatically is going to touch here. So as you can see how easy my Renko system is, and how you can easily trade without even looking at any sort of analysis. And even when you look at the future line, it is actually pointing up, and you can see that the regression channel is actually bullish, which means it's just pointing up according to the shape of the regression channel. Okay, so even this one, the regression channel actually points up. Now let me go to this pair, which actually there is a peculiarity. So when I say peculiarity is that we have a buy signal here, and then but when it reached here, and then the market fell again. But look at the shape of this regression channel. First of all, it points downwards. So at the end of the day is that if it points downwards, definitely if the market reach here, the market will automatically fall. Another thing is that the shape of the regression channel, the narrower it becomes. When I say the narrower it becomes, is the distance between the upper boundary and the lower boundary. Sometimes it tends to shrink, as you can see here when you compare to this shape. So you can see it is a bit wider compared to this one, which is actually narrow. So if it looks narrow, and let's say it is in the bearish direction, it means that it is going to go in that bearish direction for a longer period of time. But when it is as wide as this, for example, or as wide as this, for example, it means that it behaves well in a certain lower speed. Okay, so at the end of the day is that the market, yes, is going to go up and down, but in normal speed. But once you see the market, the regression channel becomes narrow and steep like this, it means it's going to go in that direction in a higher pace and also in a longer period of time. So the other thing is that according to the formula that I used in the geometric Renko system, is that all the indicators are actually calculated under number 17. So you will find a lot of 17 somewhere. For instance, RS period here, there is a Bollinger period here, 17, but other numbers remain the same. But the 17 numbers appears, in fact, because when I was developing this geometric Renko, is that the mathematics behind it is that when you count the last the last 8 bars before the turning point of the trend of the market, and the first 8 bars of the turning point, after the turning point of the market, for instance, this situation here, you will come to realize that there are 8 bars on this side and there are 8 bars on this side, which means there are 16 bars. And then the 17th bar is the turning point. That's why most of the indicators that I have calculated some parameters, there is actually number 17 for some reason. That's the reason. And then the other thing is that you will come to realize that all the Renko bars that, let's say on M1 chart, for example, when you put the parameters at the input tab here, the Renko box size has to be multiples of 8. So it can be 8, it can be 16, it can be 32, 24, 48, 64, and so forth. And the reason behind is that we have to calculate the 17th bar after 17th bar before the 8 bars and after the 8 bars, because the 17th bar in fact gives you the turning point of the market. And as I stipulated before, that on Renko chart compared to normal chart is that the normal chart is actually governed by 3 parameters, which includes volume. By volume we mean the size of the candlestick, and then there is a price, and then there is time. That's why we have M1, M5, M15, M30, and so forth. One of the reasons I discovered Renko, even before the geometric Renko that I developed when I was using the standard Renko, is just because I was very confused when I had to shift from various time frames in order to come up with the particular strategy where I can actually enter the market, or I can exit my position. So at the end of the day, I wanted to focus on something that was actually focused on price. That's why I discovered Renko, and then from there, after several years, I came up with geometric Renko, and here I am. And as we can see that, or as the definition of geometry in mathematics, it suggests that geometry is the branch of mathematics concerned with the properties and relations of the points, lines, surfaces, solids, and high-dimensional analogs. So for the just point I want to emphasize more is the Renko or geometric Renko, which actually, as you can see, is that it focuses much on the properties and relationship of the points. So you can see that let's say the market moved from here, and then it came up here, and then downward here. So there is a certain relationship between the turning points that when it reached the minimum point of the market, and then the market went up. When it reached the maximum point of the market, then the market went down. So, and then by joining these points is where you can see the arrows where they define a bearish or bullish trend. And then now coming to the points is where I have the I have the regression channel, whereby actually it focuses more on joining the last 3 points in order to in order to determine the fourth point. As I indicated before, is that let's say we have the point A here, point B here, and point C here. It means the fourth point, or point D, it has to be at the top. And as you can see that our future line shape, it is shown that the market there was just a retracement, and then the market is going to go up. That's why I have put TP here, or take profit, just in case maybe I will sleep, because right now is actually at night. And then as you can see that once I just got an arrow, I put my buy position, and then I knew that the market is going to retrace a bit, and then the market is just going to go up. So I believe that when I wake up in the morning, probably the market is going to be here already. So this is how it works. And then the other thing is that the biggest advantage about my system is that, first of all, you don't need to worry about any technical analysis that maybe you used to do manually by various strategies that you are using. For instance, let's say you are using the moving average strategies, or you are using Bollinger Bands strategy, and so forth. But at the end of the day is that the biggest problem when you're using the normal charts, it is very difficult to determine the turning points of the price or of the market, because time to time maybe you're going to be affected by news. But the other advantage about my system is that once you get into the trade, you trade actually what you see, and you don't trade what you feel, or how the analysis that you have done tells you what to do. But with this one, you don't need to worry about even news, because the shape of the trend, the shape of the the shape of the Bollinger, of the regression channel, and then the arrows and the future line are the key things that they actually show you where to buy, or when to buy, and when to sell, and when not to enter the market. And the other thing is that you can even know that with the updates right now is that when you see the shorter regression channel like this, it means that the market is just going to go up and down as it just obeys the future line, as well as finding the fourth point. But when you come to peculiarities like this, first of all, the regression channel is going to be much longer compared to this one. You find that the regression channel is just shorter, which just combines the the 3 points. But on this case is that once it becomes so steep, you realize that it is becoming longer. So it means that the market is actually going to go down until the regression channel adjusts itself automatically. And the other thing is that you don't need to worry about anything, because even the regression channel itself, it actually changes the shape of the, it actually changes its shape due to the how the market is behaving, even before too late, compared to maybe you're using your strategies or you're using your other indicators. And then the other advantage is that the system is very light. And the other thing is that through my research that I've done, which pairs that you should focus the most. These are my top 3 pairs: GBP Aussie, GBP NZD, and GBP CAD. And I think I explained this in my previous tutorials. Other than this, this is the updates that I have done so far, and is giving even better results compared to the other updates that I have done. So in case of any other updates that I'm going to do, definitely I'm going to make a tutorial. And most of the people, not most, all of the people that have purchased my system, I always share them the updates or the tutorial that I put, and they are always up to date according to the system. And then most of my students or my clients that have purchased my system, they contact me directly through my WhatsApp number. When they get any issue on the system, they can contact me directly through my number or my support email on my website. So there is no gimmicks, or there is no kind of way of cheating that once you just buy the system, then it's just up to you. No. All my clients, they are kept up to date. I've put also my number on YouTube, so you can directly reach me, and I'm very supportive, because at the end of the day is that I know the situation of trading, especially when you're using the normal chart. At first, the Renko thing, or the look and feel of it, it might look like something new, but it might also look difficult when you don't know it, or what if you're used to the normal charts. But once you go through my tutorials, you'll realize that this is the shortest way of understanding Forex, and it's the safest way of also trading. So thank you very much. And soon I'll be posting my before and after signals that I get, and all of them basically they're going to be based on GBP Aussie, GBP NZD, and GBP CAD. Thank you very much, and always be there with me. Subscribe on my channel, share the videos so that we just succeed as many as we can. That's why my knowledge I put actually for free on YouTube. So thank you very much, and in case of anything, you can go to our website, manifx.net, manifx.net. You can send us an email, or you can just reach me directly via WhatsApp. And later on, I think I'll have my support team that you can reach them, and further they can give you any support that you might wish as we grow. Thank you kindly.